Dude, Luke, the printer's still busted, man. What the fuck?
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode 139 of the Topless Robot podcast. My name is Ryan.
I'm Tyler.
I'm Kalen.
I'm horny for food.
Flaccid teeth.
And as you may be able to tell, we have a new set. Look at we're
great.
not in my living room anymore.
We sacrificed Brooks to get this set. So.
We did, yeah. Brooks is unfortunately no longer here.
These chairs are actually made from his broken will.
This is a chamber that we have ripped from his mind palace.
Yes. And actually, the truth
empty.
is we got trapped in his mind palace and
Hey,
we are stuck here for all
You
eternity.
finally figured it out.
He has many rooms,
His
but they're all
mind palace
empty.
was an empty brick room all along.
He always said there was a lot of echo in the mind palace because the walls are made of marble, not because he didn't put any furniture in there.
Right?
See, Brooks's mind palace is much
These
like
couches would have soaked up all that sound.
I'm telling you.
Brooks's mind palace is much like those 17th century castles in Ireland, UK that have just been sitting there ready to be purchased, but no one wants to live there because it costs too much.
Yeah.
It's echoey. There's no running water. Nothing.
All the
like
brain
that.
cells got gentrified out of their neighborhood.
Say no, we won't go. Say no, we won't go.
So, what is that? So, over the past week, we have had many false starts on the new Nintendo hardware. Nintendo was supposedly going to have to announce that hardware, I think the Thursday before our last episode, because I remember talking about it last week.
Right.
Yep.
And then it was that Friday, and then it was for sure sometime last week. And we're still waiting. There have been some leaks.
There's been, listings on Spanish websites and French websites and
yeah.
all sorts of things. And
We know the price is going to be $400.
Sorry, I heard French and it just reminded me of the David Cage thing that happened this
Oh,
week.
God.
Do you two know who David Cage is? One of the dudes with the whole Detroit Become Human game.
And,
yes,
a big
and
old
Heavy
piece of
Rain
shit.
Him crying
and
because-
Beyond Two
Yeah,
Souls.
his shitty workplace
Wait, he did
environments
more
came to
things?
light.
So allegedly inside of a courtroom, he was under fire for some of the things that he said, and he ran out crying. Things that I don't think I should even repeat on the podcast, honestly, because he said some pretty heinous shit about
pretty bad shit.
women and gay people. Like
Just rhyme it.
all of the women in my game are doors.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't make games for bags.
If you did not see it, then you won't know what they're talking about.
And this is, but surprise, surprise, this is the guy who, they made Beyond Two Souls, which had Elliot Page pre-transition, and he said something about like keeping naked models of Elliot
Yeah,
Page around or
didn't-
some shit like that. I can't
didn't-
remember what it was.
And other
Full body
employees.
scans.
Yeah, full
He
body.
also
scans.
was one of the reasons that like there was like footage that was leaked and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would do mock-ups of their employees naked, or like dressed as Nazis and all sorts of like fucked
Yep.
up shit to tease their employees.
So like, just in case you were ever thinking about playing a Quantic Dream game,
Plain.
yeah,
Air quotes playing.
Yeah.
don't.
That's really disappointing.
Also,
don't.
I learned recently as well that if it wasn't already obvious, I didn't know this because I didn't play Detroit Become Human. It basically rips off the civil rights movement like word for word. They even steal songs that were sung during the American civil rights movement.
I started playing
And
that.
white
I
wash the
it's
shit out.
And they made them into
robots.
white robots.
It's
Why do you think they chose the
robots.
name Detroit for the game?
I thought it was because it was in Detroit.
Fuck Quantic Dream.
That's very
Yeah.
disappointing because I actually liked Detroit Become Human. Like the
Ooh,
story was fun.
all I'll say on that is talk to Damien about that.
Yeah, right.
And then we'll move on from this.
Oh, I mean, not in the races. Just
I
like
know,
the
I'm just
story
saying.
was fun.
Yep.
No one thinks you like the racist parts.
I just I had a friend really pop off about this game, and I hadn't played it, and he was like shouting about it.
Damn.
So
Yeah, I played the first bit of
also
it,
liked it.
and surprise, surprise, I stopped playing it.
they're not games. They're boring.
I don't like visual novels.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's basically yeah.
Especially poorly written ones.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Like-
I thought that Detroit Become Human, and still until hearing about that, was at least it was decently written, like prose wise and acting wise was fun.
That's probably because they just ripped a bunch of lines from the civil rights
The
movement.
best thing that we've gotten out of any of those games has been Press X to Jason.
Press X, Jason.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in Heavy Rain.
Jason. Also, terrible game. Sorry, I actually do like Detroit Become Human. Fucking Heavy Rain is the most overrated piece of garbage of all time.
Yeah, no, everyone just lost their shit because it was high-res body scans
But it
that
didn't
were
even
being
look
rendered in
that
real
good.
time on PlayStation 3.
It didn't even look that good at the time. It was just weird, uncanny valley crap with the worst dialogue of all time. And the moment that the game started making me brush my goddamn teeth,
or how
I never brush my teeth.
you like
Rule number one.
you like
I cannot relate to this protagonist.
the
showering, what is this?
the times where you have to like hold a button in order to initiate it. It's just kind of like and then you let go and it's like
Yeah, oh, so fucking stupid.
So stupid.
Air
know, open
quotes
the door, no,
video game.
Almost. Oh no, I didn't hold it long enough. It's like those the sketches. Oh, you almost got it with
Yeah.
the dollar that was Geico commercials.
oh
What always cracks me up about stuff like this is you have games that don't go for all of this pretentious cinematography. They go for a narrative focus, and they do it better without all of the bells and whistles. Games like The Beginner's Guide, like
Yeah,
did that a million
absolutely.
times better.
Good
Firewatch, even though it had a shitty ending, did that better too.
yeah,
Like,
I was
And
disappointed
a
with
fraction
Firewatch's
of the
ending.
budget and all that shit.
But, yeah.
God of War, the new one, had a fantastic story, and I also got to chop things.
yeah,
in half
it was
with
still
an axe.
also a game.
yeah. Funny that.
Funny bet.
It's almost like you can still have game mechanics and write a story.
Yeah.
They are not mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
What happens?
Also,
when you,
fuck David Cage.
No
Yeah.
shit. No shit.
that's very disappointing.
But the best part is he did run out of the courtroom crying, so that makes me feel really good.
Yeah.
Good.
You
Fuck
could say
him.
he had a heavy rain coming from his eyeballs.
Zing.
Zing indeed. So in other news this week, never mind. I had it immediately, and then my brain was like, "You thought it."
Were we still on the Nintendo train?
No, I don't think so.
God of War got pushed back.
Because we were talking about stories and stuff, and so I was thinking about Jamie Lee Curtis has posted a bunch of Borderlands the movie character silhouettes.
They showed her silhouette. I forget who she's playing.
Tannis.
Okay.
She's perfect for Tannis. No, Claptrap is Jack Black.
No, they make her Claptrap, but they just like CGI her actual head on top of Claptrap.
And she only speaks in quotes from Freaky Friday.
God.
But Jack.
God,
so hold on. Let me get this straight, and let me also say this multiple times, and everyone else should say it as many times as they can quickly. Jack Black is Claptrap.
Yes, Jack Black is Claptrap.
Jack Black is
Jack Black is Claptrap.
Nice.
Jack Black is Claptrap.
Jack Black is Claptrap. Jack Black is Claptrap.
You could not say it 7 times fast.
Come on, how is the rapper the
dude,
among us
know.
the
You're
first one to fuck it up?
doesn't have an excuse.
I'm gonna.
You've got these skills built up. I mean, Ryan also has an excuse not to fuck that up because he's a voice actor. But
I'm gonna
me and Tyler, nah.
Well, my teeth are flaccid.
Someone get this man a burger.
I'm hopeful for a Borderlands movie. It seems like Tiny Tina's in it, and Tiny Tina is arguably one of the funniest characters that entire series produced. I kind
Do you
of
know
wish
who's playing Tiny Tina?
it's an actress who I do not
Is
recognize.
Handsome Jack in it?
I was kind of
I
hoping.
don't know.
I was
They
kind of
have not
hoping
mentioned-
whoever the actress was playing Tiny Tina also had some nice alliteration going on
Yeah.
there.
Tiny Tina, of course, has Krieg, her best friend, psycho bodyguard. But I don't like. I kind of wish that they would adapt the Tales from the Borderlands stuff and follow Reese around and stuff like that, because that is probably the strongest story out of any of the Borderlands games.
I mean,
That's
it's
because
arguably
it had
the
to-
only,
it had to
only
be,
story.
Ariana
it was only story.
Greenblatt.
Because it wasn't a game.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw a trailer for another video game based movie, Ubisoft's Werewolves Within. The trailer looks really funny.
It looks great.
It looks really fucking
It looks
good.
fucking
God,
hilarious.
they were doing that. I actually haven't seen
Yeah,
that
it looks
trailer.
really funny.
And my friend Layla sent that trailer to me like probably a month or two ago.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize when I was watching that trailer that it was off of Ubisoft's Werewolves Within, which is itself a remake of a very common convention game, Werewolf,
Yeah.
which got turned into a card game, One Night Ultimate Werewolf.
I love One
So,
Night
it's
Ultimate
like-
Werewolf
Yeah, they're
so
playing
much.
it fast and loose with like that, but it still seems like
It
a
looks
really entertaining
fucking
movie.
hilarious.
Yeah, it does.
It looks fucking
A werewolf
hilarious.
mystery comedy.
Yeah. I am super on board for that.
It's got the chick from the AT&T commercials in it.
Really?
I mistook her for Ellie Kemper when I was when I
can see
saw her
it.
in the trailer.
We don't need
see
to
it.
talk about Ellie Kemper this week.
Well, I mean, I don't. I mean, with regard to the Ellie Kemper stuff, she was fucking like
Right.
a kid,
Yeah.
you know, taking part in.
She had no idea.
Yeah.
There was no harm behind
But
behind that.
At the
It
same
sucks.
time, the counter to that argument was, she was 19. She was not a kid.
I
But
don't know
19
what the fuck this is.
So Ellie Kemper was.
In The Office, she was in the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
And
Redhead. Comedian.
Goofy.
I got introduced to her work when she was doing Derek Comedy with Donald Glover on YouTube. She had the hilarious skit Blowjob Girl, where I'm going to make it so dry for you. No, that's the opposite of what I want. Oh, you're kinky. You know, like it was a fucking hilarious skit. And so she had the same beginnings as Donald Glover. And then next thing you know, she's on The Office. It's like, oh, cool.
I looked up who this is, and I don't think I recognize
Oh,
them.
really?
I don't think I know who this person is at all.
The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt was a pretty good show.
I
on
actually-
Netflix.
Yeah,
Really
Unbreakable
liked it.
Kimmy
It
Schmidt
was
was
fun.
pretty funny. So the controversy being that she was what's the group?
It
basically
was
like
a beauty pageant that had beginnings in some KKK white nationalist bullshit.
It celebrated rich white people and like a way
Yeah.
that they were better than.
it was like Southern white, you know, traditionalist shit.
Oh yeah, so garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And technically that group doesn't have its roots in the KKK, but it does share a lot of the same ideals.
That's what it is.
The bad ones.
Yeah.
Are there
bad
know,
ones?
are there good ones?
I don't know.
Meal breaks? I don't know.
Maybe a 30-hour work week.
we always eat cake before a good old fashioned cross burning.
You know what? Yeah.
That's a guy. I want to eat cake.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do the other thing.
Yeah. You know, I'll eat the cake with you guys, but like, I think I'm gonna skip out on the other stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, but thanks for the cake.
Yeah.
The cake.
I thought that 5 seconds before you opened your mouth. Why did you snatch that? I tried to hold it. I tried to keep it away.
Damn it.
But yeah, it's something that like I'm sure that she was kind of sheltered in her community and shit like that, and didn't really, you know, like her family put her in it or some shit like, you know.
Yeah, that is one of those real shitty things that in a lot of those communities, they're so insular that people grow up never knowing any better.
Yeah.
They don't
So-
experience any other part of the world.
And the
that's
thing
no
is-
excuse to
expect-
act that way, but it's
Certainly
also
not.
just like, I would understand why someone wouldn't know how to act any differently at the time.
Yeah. And
Especially
I would
'cause-
expect that going to college would have been a big eye opener for her.
And
Probably.
19, like she was born in 1980, so she was 19 in 1999. It's like, again, like, that's even more insular of a time. Like,
Yeah,
there's no
internet
internet.
access
You're
was-
not
Yep.
seeing Reddit posts, Yahoo articles all over the place. Like, you kind of just are in this little tiny
Horse-drawn
town.
carriages.
I mean, honestly,
Kaylin, how long has it been since you switched from chariot to motor vehicle?
Well, when I was your age.
And so, like, we're making a lot of excuses for her, but these are all extremely reasonable explanations for, this picture, from 1999. Like,
Has she come out and made any like
I don't
denouncements
think
or?
that she's made a statement yet. Not that I've seen. But
I mean, she should come out and not only say that she was ignorant at the time, but also denounce.
Oh,
it all.
absolutely.
But it's weird that I haven't heard anything that she has.
yeah, well, I'm also not looking.
True.
Like the only headlines that have made their way to me are the sensationalized ones,
Right.
as they usually
Yeah.
are. So if you want a conclusion to that, you have to hunt for it.
Yeah.
literally every article you look up on Google News right now is what is going on.
And I imagine anyone of that size of fame is probably consulting like a lawyer or some kind of team
Almost
to
certainly.
formulate a response.
Yeah.
And
She has never given any reason to show that she has any kind of like her biggest roles have been in fairly openly accepting
Yeah.
roles. Like Unbreakable
Especially
Kimmy Schmidt,
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Yeah.
her best friend's a gay black dude, like,
Yeah.
and fucking hilarious. I love Titus Andromedon.
And in like the diversity that was in the Derek comedy group, that the comedy group that she was in college, like that. I don't think that someone who was like held those ideals would
Intentionally.
insert themselves into
If
unless-
she did, it was, again, it could have been a part of
Unless she's in deep cover and
God.
she's a hidden agent for the white nationalists.
She's got the Confederate flag printed on the inside.
oh Lord.
They peeled back the flesh and tattooed underneath the skin.
She takes off her wig and she's actually wearing a KKK hood. Surprise! I'm racist.
Oh Lord.
Oh, that's sad.
Yep.
Beyond the potential racism things.
But yeah, also just yet again another example of people reading before they listen
Always.
to anything,
Always.
all the time.
I read a couple different articles, and it was mostly people reporting on the news, and then the comment section, people were like, "And like,
Yeah,
who cares?" Like,
Twitter does is the
Yeah, I was
problem.
gonna say, except
Twitter.
on Twitter. If you go to Twitter, I'm sure there's people saying she needs to be executed in public right now.
Yep.
I bet she went from winning that to lynching somebody straight
Twitter-
away.
Twitter is not exactly well known for its tolerance,
What? Really?
right? Isn't that weird?
What? Twitter sucks.
I can't believe it. Going
Anyway.
back to fun media news. Adaptations. Speaking of adaptations, I watched a couple of them
Oh yeah.
this past week, and one of them actually is
Did
news
you go back
related.
and watch the Thumb movies again, Tyler?
No, I did not. No, I did not. It was on my mind.
adaptations as in video game movie.
These are comic book adaptations, actually. So there are two that I watched recently. One got canceled. One's been terrible. The Jupiter.
Jupiter. Yeah. I can't remember Jupiter's
Jupiter
Legacy.
Legacy. Thank
yes.
you. Jupiter's Legacy. I watched the
canceled it.
entire season.
They canceled it?
First season, and it's already canceled.
Are you serious?
The most expensive, one of the most expensive things that Netflix has done.
It got panned by critics.
Have you watched
I
it?
enjoyed it.
You watched it all the way through?
Yeah.
I liked it. I mean, it wasn't like
I haven't watched it. I'm just reporting what I've read.
it wasn't
I'm
the
just kind of surprised. It wasn't super deep, but I liked the approach that they were taking.
I liked it kind of. I always like it when they go back and forth and show the history mystery.
Yeah, I liked the idea that, these are friends in the 1920s who went on an adventure together and were granted these powers through that adventure and have lived, to current day and live in the open as superheroes. And so it didn't match most superhero stories. And that's what I liked about it.
I would say the only thing that I had where there were moments of it that felt like it was conjuring similar thematic elements to The Boys in a lot of ways, just not necessarily taking the same, but it was biting out of the same cake, just the opposite side of it.
So, I mean, the overarching thing is when these group of friends were granted these, powers in the 1920s, they kind of latched onto a moral code. And that moral code was they are incredibly powerful. They're never going to kill anyone. It's always going to be right and just and things like that. No, then they have kids now. And so their kids get powers. And
they don't adhere to the same moral code.
The moral code is starting to not be relevant.
The son of the main character, the son is kind of the main character. He is kind of grappling with that moral code because he has anger issues. And so he it punches a guy's face out, like through and out.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
And
this, by the way, just to give you an idea of how cool this is, this dude has a black hole in his chest, basically.
A black hole, an actual black hole.
Yeah, and that's where he draws his power from.
His name is Black Star.
Black Star, and he's just this big kind of Thanos-looking motherfucker.
So he punches that dude's face gone, but it turns out to be a clone of him. And I'm sorry, we're getting into spoiler territory, but there hasn't been a lot of buzz or interest
I might
in
watch
this.
it.
Yeah, me too.
Also, it's canceled. So,
Well, I think probably the reason it got canceled is with superhero properties these days, if it's not fucking gangbusters right off the bat, like I think it's like throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks.
I felt like they were telling a much more intriguing story about the whole because what
they weren't hitting Boys and fucking
no,
Invincible.
Sure. That's because Boys is black and white. What if superheroes were super flawed?
But like they weren't even hitting Invincible numbers, and they kind of came out at the same time, and
yeah.
And I think Netflix was just like, well, we didn't make $1 bajillion like in the first week, so like
which
it's
is
a failure.
So fucking
it's
dumb,
up,
man.
Yeah.
It's super dumb,
especially because it ended on a fairly interesting,
a very interesting note,
cliffhanger. Like
Which was
we're not going to go that much.
Also, only because I heard him say the name of the show, I have an announcement. I've actually watched an episode of Invincible, guys.
I haven't. So you've watched something I haven't watched.
It's fantastic.
Add Cannonball Run 2 in there.
I haven't finished it yet.
I did.
But it's.
I've heard
And
it's
this
really
is
good.
what happens. No, I like that a lot.
I definitely do want to keep watching it. And the only reason I did watch it is because my brother was like, "You got to watch this."
Yeah.
When you-
Also, I just fucking love J.K. Simmons.
when you say
Yes,
when you
absolutely.
see how the first episode ends, you can't help but want to watch more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say
It's
though,
on my list.
For some reason, even though I never watch anything related to this, it must just be because that show was catching fire that like it started showing like spoilers just showed up in my YouTube recommendations
Oh, shit.
constantly.
Oh,
so I
jeez.
saw the end of the first episode before I watched the episode. It doesn't bother me though because like it's still badass. you know?
Yeah.
It's still visceral and like holy shit.
Yeah.
Literally, the
But-
only thing that I have seen from the show are some stills and then the fig
yeah, the
meme. That's
fucking meme.
all I've seen.
So before we get too far away from Jupiter's Legacy, the reason why I'm super disappointed that it's gotten canceled, and I think it's it's what it's bringing into question is, the father had that moral code and the original group has that moral code. The son, punches dude's face out, and the people are on the son's side. So the moral code that was established by the parents no longer matches the general moral code of humanity.
Yeah.
And so he starts having, doubts and stuff like that. So I think
everyone
that's
has
a
fucking
super
existential crisis.
a super interesting way to go with it, and that deserves to be discovered, like
Fuck baby
explored.
boomers.
Plus the whole I just like the familial drama. Weirdly enough, like like everything. It was all very
and
relatable.
Then you've got
the
like
daughter who's just
coke
going
addict superhero, super daughter who's not like a hero, but like she has powers.
One of my favorite moments in this show is she's walking across the street in a truck, like a van that was coming away from like a fucking robbery, hits her, and she's invincible, so it just kind of bends around her and crashes, and it drops like some drugs, like it drops this bag of unidentifiable like druggy looking things, and she picks it up and then takes it back home and fucking snorts all of it. It's great.
Yeah.
She just goes like, "Oh, bag of drugs," and goes home and just starts.
You understand now why
party.
I'm very disappointed that this got canceled.
Definitely.
Funny. It's a good show. I liked it. I'm surprised that it was panned as much as it was.
Yeah.
And
Same.
I did hear that they're going to be like that's based on a whole universe from this same comic book creator.
So
Frank Miller?
it's Frank Miller. No,
No.
It's Mark Millar.
Martin Millar, because Millar World.
Um,
My sand is falling. I've fallen and I can't get up. Get Mike alert.
because Mark Millar also did.
This room's actually been equipped with a sprinkler system.
Mark
Oh my
Millar also
God.
did Kick-Ass and Old Man Logan.
Okay. Yeah, there's more in the Jupiter's like universe that's not apparently not directly related, but it's in the same world.
Okay.
And I think they're going to go to somewhere else with
They
it.
didn't scrap plans for it.
No, but I've heard that they scrapped plans for direct like follow up to this. This is all done. They're gonna go into the same world, but in a different story. That's what I heard.
What's the other adaptation you watched?
I watched the first episode of Sweet Tooth.
You hate it?
I fucking hated it.
What the fuck
It
is
was
wrong with
so
you?
Bad. It
I
was so
binged
weird.
it yesterday. It was great.
Is it? Okay, I'm gonna give it some
What's
more.
Sweet Tooth?
Sweet Tooth
Is it about a clown?
I love the amount of times we look at each other just like, I'll fucking know, dude.
Sweet Tooth is based on a Vertigo comic, and it's basically the world has been hit by a pandemic.
Sickness. They are down.
They call it the sick,
They are down with the sick.
and it has killed pretty much everyone on the planet. Around the same time that this pandemic occurs, babies start getting born as hybrids, and they are part human, part animal. And so Sweet Tooth is part human, part deer, and his name is Gus. And
Deer like salt.
he's human.
Oh.
He likes candy. Apparently, they really heavy-handedly did some exposition there to make sure we understood what the name of the show was about. Random dude finds this kid in the forest and sees some candy wrappers. Oh, you like candy? Hey, Sweet
There's
Tooth.
a whole lot more
He
in
pulls out a gun and puts him down because he's a sin against God.
the problem.
That is part of it.
Yeah, actually. So hybrids are being hunted down because they are incorrectly being blamed for the outbreak. And so it's, he has to hide the fact that he's a hybrid. But beyond that, like, he's spent 9 years of his life alone with his dad trying to protect him
With
in the
his
woods.
dad, Will Forte, which is another reason I couldn't take this show very
Forte-
serious.
Will
Will
Forte-
is the best.
Will Forte playing a very serious role.
He's
Will
good
For-
at that.
Yeah.
Will Forte playing
Will
the
Forte
very
is real
important role as plot development.
Will Forte is a great serious actor when he's allowed to be.
Plot device.
Also, there's a whole lot more.
Okay.
There's way more.
The first episode was.
I want to watch this now because of my undying love for Will Forte.
You're judging it based on one episode.
I am. I need
What's,
to give it
what's
more.
the 3-episode rule?
What's this on?
True.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
I will give it a few more episodes only because you said so. But I was just watching it. I'm like, oh my God.
Speaking of adaptations, did you see that some fans have
Yes.
discovered and remastered 22 minutes of the Super Mario's movie? They like painstakingly remastered these
I heard
scenes
about that
from
today.
an old like water damaged VHS tape.
It is now a 2-hour and 5-minute long film, something like that.
I still.
Did you watch it?
No,
I haven't watched.
I haven't watched it either.
When
It's
I was
up on
a-
Archive.
When I was a kid, I liked that movie, the original, like non-extended version. Obviously, it's one of my horrible secrets as a gamer.
I love that fucking
It was
movie.
so good.
John
I loved it. It was so
Leguizamo and the guy
stupid.
from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Dennis Hopper, for fuck's sake.
Dennis Hopper, Bob Hoskins, and John Leguizamo. Like,
And Bob Hoskins did not spend a single day on set sober.
I mean, you can kind of tell.
In fact, like John Leguizamo was telling a story about a driving scene where Bob Hoskins was driving and he was completely shit-faced. And
That's hilarious.
yeah, they like, so like John Leguizamo was kind of trying to help steer and shit like that. Like,
Well, I mean, it's kind of, he was getting into character because Mario is always tripping on mushrooms.
and that whole, like, the story of that movie being made is very interesting.
I've read bits and pieces of it.
And it's, you know, it was in development hell.
Honestly, the craziest thing about the whole thing to me is that Nintendo even let that see the light of day.
So Nintendo started getting more protective of their properties after that movie.
Which is funny because they had the Nintendo seal.
Who could have guessed?
Yeah.
They had the Nintendo seal of approval thing that was always like really important to them, and like,
Which actually it means absolutely nothing. They have the Nintendo seal of approval on a billion pounds of shovelware.
it's very true. It does mean
The
that.
Nintendo seal of approval means we made money off of this.
Yeah,
That's
the
all.
Nintendo seal of approval means this was licensed.
Corporations care about money and nothing else, Tyler. You know this.
I meant more from their perspective. They're like, look, this is like, we can't put our seal of approval on it unless we take out the beer from this scene or the blood in Mortal Kombat, and
Yeah.
it was really important for like 5 minutes in the 1980s.
Yeah. You mean the sweat in Mortal Kombat?
Oh, sorry, the sweat.
Was that what they said it was?
Yeah.
yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did I not know that? It's funny.
Yeah. I remember when that shit was happening. Like, yeah, at my 8th birthday, everyone was, that's what we talked about, was the Genesis versus Super Nintendo
Timmy knew the blood code.
version of Mortal Kombat.
Like, why is there no blood?
Yeah. Because it was supposed to be the most brutal thing ever. Oh my God. You've never seen anything so real.
Ripped out that guy's spine, man. That guy's spine is so sweaty.
And the Nintendo. And the
Actually,
Nintendo version, you just pull out a candy cane.
So
out
I
of
don't
his
think
bag.
there are fatalities in the Super Nintendo version either.
Really?
If I remember correctly. I could be
I don't
wrong.
remember. I don't
I just
remember.
had
I remember.
was a Genesis kid.
This is gonna make you feel really old.
I was mostly a Genesis kid.
but I wrote a paper about violence in video games when I was in like 7th grade.
you need
Lord.
to find this
And
paper.
that was one of the
Yeah, you
things that I
definitely need to find-
discussed. I would not have it anymore now.
Your mom probably does.
Because
So proud of my little boy.
I thought you were making a really convoluted your mom joke.
I wasn't.
He was just literally saying your mom might have saved some of your schoolwork.
Oh no, I never gave my parents any of my
but
schoolwork.
also huge whore.
Oh man.
Oh, that was good.
So yeah, it's interesting to see all these adaptations come out, and specifically, I think, like in the wake of the success of Guardians of the Galaxy, all these studios are looking to tap lesser known properties like Sweet Tooth. I'd never fucking heard of Sweet Tooth
Yeah,
before.
or the Werewolves Within. If you can get a good writer director team to have some like creative freedom with it, like
Yeah.
give them a shot.
Absolutely.
Just it's just something funny about like, oh man, we can't come up with our own ideas. Guys, just mind the backlogs. We can find something that's useful.
There's gotta be a Howard the Duck comic in here somewhere.
Please give us more Howard the Duck. Please give us more Howard the Duck.
Tyler tried to segue to this earlier when we were talking about video game stories.
Well, now that you're doing it, we'll listen.
Yeah, God of War 2 has been delayed.
Yep.
to
Yeah,
next year.
2022. And I also found out today that apparently the name Ragnarok and the logo that has been used in marketing materials are currently unofficial.
Yeah.
I thought that was like their thing. I didn't.
No.
So that'll be interesting.
It's all unofficial, and I expect that we will probably have a whole lot to talk about next Sunday as E3 starts next week.
Oh my goodness. E3 without
pay
Nintendo.
attention to it this year since I'm on this stupid fucking podcast.
Wow.
Look,
Well, dude, all you have to do is next week when we message the group, like, hey, dude, we're going to go to the podcast.
Just go,
oh, fuck.
Problem solved.
Just a bullet on that one.
No one
had to
suspects
pay
a thing.
Almost had to pay attention to E3 featuring only Microsoft.
Nintendo's going to be there. Yeah, Nintendo's going to have a showing. Sony is the only one that is like fully not there.
I thought Nintendo's still doing their own treehouse.
They're definitely going to do their own thing. They are doing it in affiliation with E3.
And then you also have to remember, Tyler, like other studios will be showing up just to announce shit that they're doing too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's fair.
If Team Cherry's not going to be there to announce Silk Song, I don't want to see it.
Yeah, it's been a bit since we've heard some
And they
Silk
said
Song
that
news.
there's not going to be any news. They
really?
preemptively were like, hey guys, I know that there's always speculation for any fucking indie, showcase or anything like that, but we don't have anything to show for E3.
So I'm wondering if we're going to actually get Elden Ring game footage.
Oh, that's what you're thinking about, huh?
I was thinking about Metroid. I'm surprised that you weren't thinking about Metroid.
I'm thinking about a lot of things.
Hey,
I'm
now
thinking
we're-
about the new Nintendo hardware, the rumored Metroid 2D. New 2D Metroid in the works.
And maybe we'll get our second teaser for the Metroid 4. This time they'll give us the E.
Yeah. Metroid Prim.
I'm making fun of the fact that we've only gotten like a logo from.
sorry, I didn't know.
Let me explain the joke. It'll make it funny.
I just literally
will make it
I
much
didn't know.
funnier.
I haven't followed any of this promotional material.
There hasn't been any to follow, Dan.
Yeah.
That was the
Well,
joke.
So, I mean, and we talked about it on the podcast when it happened. They announced that they were scrapping it all and starting from scratch.
Oh, sorry. Sometimes when you guys talk, I just hear carnival music in my brain.
How many bricks are on that wall?
We are not playing Space Station 13 right now. You are not a clown.
He's just hearing clown honk.
What's the name
I'll
of
have
that?
you know, I never play clown. I just make a bunch of testosterone and force feed it to the
Testosterone,
mime
that's what it is.
like a clown would.
He's a pusher for the clown. So Elden Ring, that's the From Software game
Yep.
that everyone's hoping for. What's the next Bethesda game since
Starfield. Starfield has been confirmed to not be coming to PlayStation. It is the first Bethesda release post-acquisition that has been confirmed will not be on other systems.
And then we can imagine, unless they pony up a shit ton of money, that Elder Scrolls will also follow suit.
I would expect so,
Yeah.
probably.
But don't worry, modders will get us.
yeah,
We'll get a whole bunch of modders and they'll mod it for PS5.
I mean, probably not.
I'm joking.
We'll get modders on the PC.
Elder Scrolls 6 is never coming out.
But they've confirmed that they're working on it.
Fuck Bethesda. Don't buy their products. They suck.
Yeah, pretty much. I am not really a Bethesda fan.
I liked Skyrim.
Any longer? Or
I never
ever?
really was.
Yeah.
I really liked Skyrim. I really liked Morrowind and Oblivion. I
Best
liked
was
Fallout
New
3
Vegas.
Which
and New Vegas.
isn't even
but
Bethesda.
Isn't even Bethesda. But yeah, ever since Skyrim / Fallout 3, like it's really been kind of fuck you.
Yeah, I don't know. I just couldn't really get into their engine, like in general. When Morrowind first came out, the being able to steal shit and piss off guards and shit like that was novel, and it was entertaining. And then I just didn't care anymore. Like Oblivion came out, and I'm like, I hate how these people look. I
really
absolutely
do look
hate the way these people
Stop
look in
right
this
there,
engine.
criminal scum.
And same with
used to be
Skyrim.
an
Like
adventurer.
I hate the way their character models look in general, and I hate their engines. Their engines, for some reason, somehow, even if they're using the same fucking engine between like Skyrim and Fallout 4, they still end up releasing a shitty, buggy game.
Because they don't give a shit, because they know they can make money. Like, it used to be novel and funny. And then after that, they're like, whatever. I guess they'll buy literally anything. So
Yeah, I think the Bethesda game that I have played the most is Fallout 3 because I loved the original isometric Fallout games. And that was a huge deal that oh my God, there's a Fallout 3? That was like 10 years after Fallout 2 came out. And seeing this 3D wasteland and, all that shit, I was like, this will be fucking rad. And I played it, a lot, but yeah, it's still that fucking shitty ass weird engine that makes people look and act really fucking strange.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. Eventually I got to a point with Skyrim where it was funnier to play than it was actually entertaining. Because they had like the 2 voice actors who voiced all of the NPCs everywhere you went. You'd just be walking around the world and just go, they're reforming the Dawn God, vampire hunters or something.
How could they not afford more fucking voice actors?
It's kind of like what's the video game? Mafia or Mafia 2 or whatever the fuck, where all the NPCs are voiced by Nolan North. And he has such a recognizable voice. So you're just walking around town listening to Nolan North talk to himself.
See, at least like he's a recognizable voice actor, so it's funny. The people who voice the NPCs in like Skyrim are just like some dude.
They gotta be the fucking developers.
Yeah.
Like, all right, Steve, you need to record some lines. Okay.
I used to be an adventurer.
Okay, let me just pretend to be Norwegian real quick.
Yes.
I used to be. No, that wasn't it.
No.
My uncle was Scandinavian.
That's Swedish!
Oh shit, that's right.
Bork, bork, bork.
I once did an audition for Raven Software, which is now owned by Bethesda. Or no, Human Head is now owned by Bethesda. Raven is owned by Activision. I did an audition for Raven. They wanted me to... basically, the sample that they had me read was like...
Oh no, you stole my bag.
No, it was like iconic bad guy. Like, and so I read it like a madman, like a crazy... Obviously, I didn't get the fucking role, and they didn't take me on or anything, but... like it was fun, I guess.
Did you ever go back and find that character to see?
No. I have no idea what it was for, or even if they were actually actual lines, or if they were like just seeing what we could do. But yeah, I did the unhinged, kind of voice, even though they're like
fucking nerd.
Well, they're like, this guy's German, and I'm like, I can't do a German accent, so I'm not going to try. So I'm just going to lean heavy on the crazy. And that was it. Yeah. Cool story.
German accents are hard, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
I can only do it if you do like the funny high pitched German man. Like I can't do an actual German accent. I can only do German caricature.
Yeah.
The only German accents I can do will offend German people.
Exactly. It's not even a German accent.
Yeah.
Nine. I'm sorry.
10. So Jasmine and I are getting married on Wednesday. So our anniversary will be 6/9
Nice.
for the meme. Dan
Should
is
have
going to
just
be
waited to the year 2420, so then you could at least have the.
no. Dan is
2420.
yeah. That's
I'm joking.
That's
God.
When we discover the technology to put Ryan and Jasmine's brain in a jar.
Yes.
so we can finally be together hundreds of years in the future.
I mean, you could just forge the marriage certificate.
Dan is going to be one of our witnesses. And
just in case one of you tries to kill the other one, right? That kind of witness?
No. When you get married, you have to have witness for the bride, witness for the groom, as well as an
Can't
officiant.
write in God.
God is always my witness.
I mean, they do say "as with God as my witness."
But
So can't you just do that?
there's only been one set of footprints.
When there was only one line of Cheeto dust. Basically, Dan signs a piece of paper our other witness, Erica, signs the same piece of paper because we got our marriage license this past week. And there's going to be a total of 10 signatures necessary. Because there's the main marriage license
You better start making some friends, bro.
witness, efficient, bride, groom. And then there's a tear off at the bottom where everyone has to sign that as well. And the bottom gets torn off and sent to the courts. So 10 signatures.
Oh, so
Not
5
10 signatures.
repeated.
5 repeated.
Got it.
Yeah.
Just running up to
2
random
signatures
people
per
on the
person,
street.
5 people.
One of you witness me.
Witness me.
I don't have enough friends.
I don't know. You didn't tell me there was going to be 2 signatures.
It was just another bitch.
It just makes me think of Futurama. Bender gets asked to fold the professor's sweatshirts. Wait, you want me to do 2 things? He has to fold 2 sweatshirts.
Who's the efficient going to be?
It's a coworker of mine, Dave. He is ordained through the Universal Life Church. And so, yeah.
Nice.
Be quick and easy.
Question.
Are you paying, Dan? Are you on the clock? That's not like a good thing. I don't know. Never mind. Joke. Bad joke.
It's like, this is a work expense, this ink.
Don't give him ideas.
Can I clock in for this shit?
Let's see. I'm gonna clock in for the time that I had to get in my car and cool down the AC. The time I had to spend driving. You have to reimburse me for gas. I can't do it sober, so you have to buy me beer.
And ink is pretty expensive nowadays.
I get a work meal, right?
Do I get
No, you got a
15
bag
minute?
of pizza puffs here, bro.
Do I get a 30-minute lunch and 2 15-minute breaks?
If my lunch break is unpaid, you can talk to my lawyer.
Well, that's super exciting.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
I'm so
we
happy
got
for
our
you.
rings in the mail. We're keeping it real simple. We got
Thought you were going to stop it.
Keeping it real. Keeping it real. Keeping it real.
keeping it real simple. We got those silicone rings from Groove Life, and so we both got Spider-Man comic book pages rings, but the sizes that we ordered are too big for both of us. So fortunately, they've been really cool.
You put them on your toe.
Did you not size yourself before you
No, we
ordered?
did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
Did they expand in the heat?
No, I don't think so. It just, so they have a thing that you can print out on their website where you cut out this little slit thing and put it around your finger and you pull it tight and it marks where, the size is. And that could have been inaccurate or something like that. But at any rate, they've been super cool. Apparently these have a lifetime warranty. So if they break or whatever, they'll replace them. You spend $5 on shipping and that's that. And we wanted, so I contacted them. I was like, we both ordered 12s. And I need one that's
huge.
1 size down, and I need one that is 2 sizes down. And they're like, oh, yeah, just send us, picture of your receipt, picture of the items, whatever. And so I got notification from them yesterday that they're preparing to send out our replacement. So It was really, really simple. So I highly recommend it. I hate wearing rings. That's why I wanted to go, with the...
Me too.
So I wanted to go with the silicone, and I can't
You wear
tell.
them to punish yourself.
I
Right
can't.
there?
Yeah, I can't tell that I'm wearing it. And the only finger that it fits on for me is my middle finger.
Ooh, this is a cool feeling. That's dope. I love the Spider-Man.
Do you have to
Yeah.
send it back, or do they? Just
Yeah, I will have to send those back. And they gave me instructions for it. Like, they came in metal tins, and they're like, in order to send these back, just grab a standard envelope, slap them in an envelope, put 2 stamps on the envelope, keep the tins, and, put the address.
Spidey fights the Goblin and lots more.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm actually really happy with I've never had a silicone ring before, so it was kind of a gamble. With my first marriage, my ring was a titanium ring because I just needed something light. I don't like feeling weight on my fingers with the amount that I type and shit like that, and playing music, and yeah, it's just obnoxious.
you can take them off when you do specific tasks.
I can, I guess.
There's these cool things that rings can do, and it's called sliding on and off of your finger, and you just go
Did you get
My
your-
friends have legit like wedding ring type things, but then they have like silicone bands in addition to that, so they can,
Oh,
like,
cool.
Did you
switch
get your
them off.
custom doormat? So it's like the Curtis's.
Oh, Lord.
I'm never gonna get used to that.
We're not going to be that family.
I'm never gonna get used to that.
There goes my
What, Ryan
dreams of
Curtis?
being
Yeah. Every time I look down, I'm like, who
loving
the fuck? Oh,
family.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember if I mentioned it on the podcast last week or not, but I am changing my last name to Curtis because I have not a lot of connection to my dad's side of the family, and not a lot of it's just doesn't resonate with me. I'd rather carry on the legacy of my mom's side of the family than my dad's. So I am Ryan Curtis now. I haven't done the actual name change process yet. We won't be able to do that until we get our finalized. Because like when we send in the marriage license stub, they'll send us out a printed, proper marriage license. So we'll be able to use that for our name changes.
So much work getting married.
It really is. It really is.
At least you're not planning a fucking wedding.
Yeah.
True.
Fuck that. Did it once. Don't want to do it ever again. Did it once. And the first one was like, it was still pretty small. Like it was a small gathering at my Graham's house. But it was still a nightmare. Absolute nightmare to
See,
organize.
if you were going to have a wedding this time, it would have been the first wedding where the bride didn't get loudly angry at me for refusing to dance.
And your ring bearer could have been a small goat.
That's true. That's true.
I don't know
That would
what
have been awesome.
That
every
would've been
single wedding
awesome.
I've gone to, like they open the dance floor and I just sit at my table and drink and talk. And every single time the bride has come up and gone, like, you need to dance. I'm like, I'm not going to. Like, you invited me, your friend. Like, I am your friend.
You know
should-
me.
You should know that I'm not going to dance.
I need to know how many weddings you've been to.
5.
Holy shit, that's a success failure rate. Damn, 5 for 5 on
5 for 5.
Well done.
Yeah,
Not the not dancing part, but the pissing off brides part.
Wait, no, sorry. There was one. No, there was one that didn't. Okay, I was wrong.
Damn.
One bride didn't.
I don't dance either, so.
Yeah.
Well, look,
No.
I
It's
think
all
the
I
only
do.
reason it was a dry wedding, so I think nobody gave a shit.
if you don't
Oh,
dance,
Jesus.
then you're no friends of mine.
Is podcast
Are
over?
you, is it
Oh no, my mic going cut. Did it get
a
cut?
horribly misquote a fucking
Hello.
song?
That's right.
I think it only got cut for the live stream, though. It probably still recorded you, unfortunately.
I hope everyone heard me.
So, aside from that, I'm trying to think.
What else happened?
I'm going to move in.
You are going to move in.
I'm going to be living here.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's right.
those old Need for Speed games are being removed, delisted completely, which I thought was kind of
Really?
interesting. Yeah,
Who's
Need
the
for Speed, Carbon,
publisher?
EA.
EA.
But EA's not doing it. I think it was one of the developers or
Yeah.
someone else who I don't think it's EA's like call that a bunch of the old ones are getting.
Yeah, I forget.
The servers are getting all shut down. Maybe it is
Which
EA.
I'm okay with servers being shut down, but
Yeah,
at the same
like,
time, like
that's
completely
common, but-
removing them from,
Yeah, they're scrubbing them. From
Huh.
which is
existence.
weird because, like, what if you bought the digital only version and then, I mean,
So
you're kind of
what era Need for Speed are we talking about here?
the ones
there
from
might
2012
not
and
be
below.
digital only versions.
There
of
was
that.
ones
I
from
guess.
2012. One of the ones is, I mean, Need for Speed Carbon, which was 2006. But then I know the most recent one was 2011, 2012 that I saw, and I can't remember which one it is. But like, it's like 4 of them, and they're all getting completely removed.
I mean, it all goes back to that whole, you don't own what you own.
It just, yeah. I mean, how much effort is it to just keep the files available for
Do we
purchase?
know if the people who purchased those will retain them in their library at the very
It
least?
says they'll be able to be used offline. You can still play the game offline.
Okay. So they're just removing it from new purchases.
Yeah, but I guess I'm just thinking, like, what if you got a new computer and I mean, you could
decided
still-
to buy a Need for Speed game
Goddamn,
from
you love Porsche
2011.
Unleashed so
No,
much.
you had
Yeah,
that
right,
one
like-
game. You had it already downloaded, but then you have to re-download it on your new.
Well, you can because it's associated with an account.
They're preserving your license. They're just not allowing purchases of new licenses.
Yeah.
It's like the old Dark
From
Souls.
the way that they were saying to me, it's getting taken out completely. So I was wondering, like, if you wouldn't be able to download it again.
If they're saying
It sounds like if they're just pulling it from the store, like when Dark Souls Remastered came out, Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition was no longer possible to purchase on Steam.
But
Yeah.
you could
But if you
re-download
already
it.
bought it,
I
you could
sti- I
re-download
have-
it. still.
Okay. That was the only thing that I was like, that sounds kind of shitty. But yeah, I guess
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter that much.
like I have Prepare to Die edition.
It is kind of weird though. Why would you remove it from the store? There's no reason. Just
Well, it's probably a matter of so that takes up resources. No matter how you think about it, it takes up resources to keep something up and available in digital form. You can just keep throwing storage solutions at it as much as you want, but at a certain point, it's going to outweigh, your cost is going to outweigh the benefit of keeping some of these older titles.
I
And
guess
they have sales numbers for these things. So
Yeah,
they're definitely not making an uneducated decision in doing so.
And this could also be, this is just purely speculative, but if it's the same situation as what happened with Dark Souls Remastered, they pulled Prepare to Die Edition so they could force people to buy the remaster.
Yeah.
Maybe they're planning on doing some kind of
Considering
remaster.
it's EA, that's almost a guarantee.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
yeah, it makes sense.
Yep.
Not that I care really. I don't like Need for Speed that much. So.
Then why did we just spend that time talking about it?
Because it was interesting.
Someone else might care, okay?
Look, I do what I do for the audience. Yes.
We saw some. I can't remember if I brought it up. We saw some Dying Light 2 footage recently. Finally, after God knows how long, wondering whether it was actually going to come out, and it looks really good.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to see more at E3. Really hoping to see more at E3. And oh Lord, I can't believe I didn't think to bring this up earlier. I finally got to play a game that I kickstarted in 2012.
Oh my goodness. What one was it?
Radio the Universe.
What game was it, Ryan?
So I backed Radio the Universe. If I remember correctly, it was 2012, and we've been sitting and waiting for it forever.
Well, technically, it's only been 9 years.
Sure. When I kickstarted this game, I was in my 20s.
That is old. It's a
And-
long time ago, Ryan.
That's back when Kaylin and Ryan were still using chariots instead of motor vehicles.
So
That's back when I was still funny.
Nobody believes that.
Go ahead, Ryan.
that was found
To anyone else
That was found to be a lie.
besides
We have basically test builds that he started up a Discord. It's been one dude developing it this whole time, and it's very clear that he's being like a super perfectionist about things, and life happens obviously and shit like that. But I'm amazed that here we are 9 years later, and he's still making good on this Kickstarter. So he is regularly releasing test builds on the Discord for people to try out and play and give feedback as he prepares to actually release this game that he's been working on for nearly a decade.
And
I enjoy it so far. I haven't played a ton of it. I wanted to actually make a video out of it, so I didn't want to spoil it, for myself too much.
makes sense.
But I've been waiting for this game for so long. I had to get some play in, and I love the aesthetic. I love, the feel of it overall. And I don't know whether I want to try and just play through it right now because it's a test build, so it's not the final build. And actually, a lot of the story beats are not in the game yet.
Right.
So it's like, am I going to, realistically, knowing me, am I going to want to revisit this once it it reaches version 1 after having spent a ton of time in test builds.
You're better off waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look,
So-
it can't be more than another 8 years.
Yeah, right. I'm just stoked that like I have the game, to play. Like I can actually play this game that I've been waiting for excitedly for 9 years.
I'm always glad to hear when there's some kind of success with Kickstarter, because I've told you, the first 2 I did both got canceled and not refunded. Like, we used all of our resources. We're not doing it. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like, it took me, and these were both things I invested in like 9 or 10 years ago. And I just this last year finally felt the courage to invest in another Kickstarter. And hopefully it's going to actually come out. God.
A little indie game called Star Citizen.
Yeah. Hopefully you've heard of it. No, it's actually called
Star Citizen came out.
Hey, just
air quotes.
just mentioning Star Citizen makes us all lose a couple of bucks here. You have to pay to talk about it as well as
Probably. I have a friend who probably spent $3,000 on Star Citizen.
it's fucking
Jesus.
ridiculous.
I know.
I have a friend who's in the same, like he's one of my work buddies, and he like got me all hyped about it when I had never heard of it. And he's like, dude, it's like an open world, like
You can do everything in this game.
yeah.
You can.
He bought a bunch of like expensive ships and was begging us like, hey, when it comes out, will you play so you can crew my ships? I told him to go fuck himself.
Yeah.
I don't play that game.
Yep.
Dumb. What game did you?
It's not a game. It's called Dungeon Alchemist. It's basically
Oh yeah.
it's an AI generator, basically that these people are making that can procedurally generate different environments and just like whip up maps for you to use.
Oh, that's
in,
cool.
in
I remember you
campaigns.
telling us about that. That's
I like
It's really fucking cool. It's all of the demo content I've seen so far is awesome. Because even after it randomly generates everything, you can still pick up and resize and like restructure all of the rooms to whatever you want. They've done like dungeons, mansions, inns. They're working on outdoor themes. It seems like it's going to be really fucking cool.
That's awesome.
I kickstarted a toothbrush.
Loser.
It looked really cool. It was like a toothbrush that like you put in your mouth and it brushes your teeth for you.
Generally,
them-
your hand can do that just fine.
Yep.
Makes them nice and erect,
Oh Lord.
non-flaccid teeth.
So I kickstarted. Edmund Macmillan is coming out with basically an updated version of the Binding of Isaac card game, or a sequel, I guess. It's called Binding of Isaac Requiem, and so I've backed every one of his stuff, like the card game Tapeworm and the first Binding of Isaac board game. We had a
still need to
lot
go
of
back
fun
and
with
play
that. Yeah, we had a lot of fun with that. So this one, at the tier that I backed it at, it comes with the original game with updated text that clarifies actions. So it's basically a version 2 of that original game. So I'll probably donate the original game to the grid. And then Requiem, which is another 200 some odd cards. And all
I know
kinds
you're
of stuff,
donating
so-
it, but just be prepared for it to be ruined.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean,
sad.
it's what happens when you put a game in a public place. to
Also
be
on the same
played.
table as a bunch of beers and drunk people.
Yeah. In that case, maybe I should hold on to mine because it's an original, like, special.
You got a
gold
limited
box
edition
Kickstarter.
one,
Yeah.
dude. I'd hold on to it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, eventually I'll go to Target and buy a copy of Binding of Isaac.
There you go.
and,
That makes a lot more sense.
have it at the grid. But
Better yet, just photocopy your edition and just.
so far, they have already beaten their last 2 Kickstarters, like within 2 days. The goal for the Kickstarter was $100,000, which is always silly, because by day 2 it was at over 3 million.
Jeepers.
And so let's see. Right now, it is at. $4,135,646.
So I assume they hit their stretch goals.
They have one stretch goal left.
Then to buy a golden toilet.
The last stretch goal that they hit was including a random item pin with every order. So like their stretch goal for 100,000 were stickers, 300,000 were tangible nickels for the game, in addition to pennies. So now you can actually consolidate the money that you get in the game.
Seems like they could save some money by not sending nickels and pennies to people.
500,000 tainted coins, because this introduces the idea of tainted elements. At 700,000, they added card dividers. At 1 million, they added teardrop tokens. At 1.5 million, a Tom Bunk coloring page.
And at 2 million of the developers' actual tears in a vial.
At 2 million, they increased the size of the die. At 2.65 million, temporary tattoos.
And
at 3.5 million, it was Samuel Gabbanini coloring page. And at 4 million, one random enamel pin. So there's one more stretch goal.
Which costs them almost nothing.
I'm sure. But still, just
enamel pins
honestly,
are pretty
like
cheap to mass produce.
With what they have always been very, very good about like just throwing so much cool stuff in whatever you back. Like I love Binding of Isaac. Like it's one of my favorite games. I love the figures. Like they actually have little figures. So when I backed the first one, I got a full set of 6 like of the basic character figures. And now with this one, I backed it at the Guardian Angel tier, which comes with a 6-inch Isaac with wings and halo and stuff like that. Like looks awesome.
Say you need more naked boy statues in here.
Yes, absolutely. Naked crying boys. Thank you.
Great. You can't be happy.
And then because I backed it within the first 48 hours, I also get a tainted Isaac figure. So
nice.
Yeah, they honestly have been the way they run their Kickstarters has been great, especially considering they have stretch goals that are tied to money, sure, but they also have stretch goals that are tied to social media things. So like X number of people do a shitty cosplay as this character. And once that's done, it gets crossed off the list. And so like once these 5 maybe social media targets get done, that's a tier. And so that unlocks something new as well. So they've been super creative with their Kickstarters.
I like that. Involving the community.
Yeah.
Marketing team doing a good job there.
Yeah, no kidding. So what has everyone been playing this week?
Dan.
There's a dead scorpion over there.
Are you sure it's dead?
As long as it's dead, that's cool by me.
As long as it's dead.
Did a little bit more into the Mass Effect remaster. They made the Mako controls tolerable, which is great.
Thank
because
God.
a lot of that exploration, that's like my least favorite part of the first game, is just driving your fucking car around a desolate surface of a planet.
I heard that it's moderately better, but it's a low bar to be moderately
Very,
better.
very low bar.
Yeah.
But any improvement is good.
Sure.
And it also just looks a lot better to explore the surfaces of planets, just from whatever they've done to make it look better. So I'm cool with it. Everything else is good. Otherwise, a game of Civ 5 where I'm playing Brazil, and I named my religion "Come to Brazil," and I'm trying to win a cultural victory by making my culture the dominant culture. Everyone must come to Brazil.
Nice.
That's about it. Kalen?
I have been playing. Oh what? I was playing Knockout City.
Oh, that's right. We need to play that together sometime.
Yes. It is it's like a dodgeball game. What's the genre of game?
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a Battle
yeah.
Royale. But it's teams. You're usually like the base game is 3-on-3 teams. You're in a cool little arena and you have to grab dodgeballs and knock each other out. And it sounds ridiculous, but it's a lot of fun. It's got really cool graphics. The narrator, DJ, MC guy is insufferable.
I love that.
In a good way.
When you
You're insufferable in a good way.
Kaylin.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to him.
I knew you cared.
I
But
love that.
it's actually a lot of fun. I think on Steam you can get a free trial. I'm not sure on PlayStation, but it's on Game Pass. The learning curve was fairly slight, and now I feel like I do decent. But if you can get like 3 homies on a crew together, you can like deck out your crew. The character creators, you make like you can make this like weird like androgynous characters. It's really cool.
I love that Thursday, Kaylin texts me,
Oh geez,
Brawl Stars, bro.
Brawl Stars, bro.
I'm like, I'm unfamiliar. Switch? And so I find a game called Brawl Stars on the iPad App Store. I'm like, oh, it's from the same devs as Clash Royale. And he's like, Xbox, it's cool, 3-man crews, which is funny because the fucking Brawl Stars has 3-man crews. So I was like, okay, I must be, but on Xbox, I can't see this on Xbox. It's made by Supercell. Like, they mostly do,
Free to play games.
yeah, well, and actually I think they did that elephant, that Tumbo or whatever, the fucking Rambo elephant game. Anyway, yeah, I go, it's on iOS and Android too. He goes, wait, no, I'm confused. Brawl City? Dodgeball. I'm like,
Brawlhalla?
oh, Knockout City. That's the one.
Yes, I was very confused. I text my other friend the same thing because you two are the only people I know with a Game Pass, and I text him. I was like, Brawl Stars, bro, and he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna download this. And I was like, why not? It's so cool. And then I basically went through the same thing. I was like, oh, this is what it is. You need to play it. It's a lot of fun. It's not a free to play
fucking
mobile
hilarious.
game.
Well done.
Yeah, but it's cool. I recommend checking it out.
Yeah, it's on pretty much everything, I think. It's
There's
on
5 million
Switch and
players right now. Like, it's killing it.
I love how confidently wrong you were there. You said the same text to multiple people.
Brawl Stars,
I
the
was-
wrong game.
I was certain I knew what I was talking about.
I'd like to believe that you're sitting there in front of the game too, with the menu open,
Right.
not even looking. Fuck, what was this game called?
Totally.
oh man, it's so funny. Tyler.
Well, I've been playing with my new toy, the Galaxy, the Oculus.
The galaxy. The galaxy is my
Galaxy
toy.
your lives. No, the Oculus Quest 2. Holy fuck, I love it. I didn't expect to
So
love
you're
it.
not using your PlayStation 5 right now?
I'm not.
What?
Not this
You have
week.
a PlayStation 5?
I do.
Tyler, do you have a PlayStation 5?
I do.
Holy shit.
Sounds like it's not getting any love.
Not this week. This
I think
week.
Kalen's saying he might love it a little more than that.
It's mine. I was gonna play Horizon Zero Dawn today, but instead I started reading on a pale horse. But
Nerd.
I know. And then fucking Brooks wasn't even gonna be here today. I couldn't even be like, dude, I started reading the book you got me for my birthday. Disappointing. Anyway, yeah, been playing with the VR and it's been a fucking blast. I played a bunch of Beat Saber. Have determined my new workout routine for because I found something
it's a
that
solid workout routine.
I enjoy doing. So I've got this little.
Jack off.
I even got some weight bracelets for it, so that might help there too.
Oh.
Give us a flex with the right arm. Let me see what you got. No, you, Kalen.
Oh yeah, well my left wrist still hurts from when I injured it. So
Oh, I thought you were gonna say when I was masturbating earlier.
Maybe that's
wearing-
dude. You never figured out how you hurt your wrist. Maybe you were just yanking it too hard,
I
man.
mean, I've done worse when I was drunk. So you're wearing wrist weights while
Yeah,
playing? That's
I
pretty
ordered
dope.
some wrist weights. They're like 2-pound wrist weights on for each hand, and I also have a little Stepmaster thing that I got for like under the desk. So when I'm working, like I can kind of do shit. I'm like doing everything I possibly can to trick myself into actually doing something athletic. And so I stand on that and I'm stepping in beat to the songs and I'm slashing around with Beat
And you
Saber.
look cool as fuck
I look
doing it.
fucking stupid as hell. But holy shit, it's exhausting.
You just hear your
Yeah.
girlfriend in the background laughing at you.
She's like, I
She's
almost
just
took
on
my-
Tinder, just like Jesus Christ.
just important. Must not play Beat Saber with weighted arm bracelets.
I don't care if you're an ex-con.
But yeah, I played that a whole bunch, and it's a fucking great workout, and it's also just really fucking fun. And then I also played the first chapter of Darth Vader Immortal. On there, and that was fucking cool. Like,
Yeah,
You tell me you didn't do some casual Phasmophobia solo runs?
no, I did not. This sounds like a terrible idea.
Have you connected it to your computer at all for any PC Run VR?
No, not yet. No, I've been doing mostly in my living room because I have it already. I love that you can just map out your fucking play area.
Yeah.
Like that's cool as shit.
Yeah. It's really nice for it to be so self-contained.
Yeah, it's fun.
We still have to
Really fun.
record Kalen's first time ever in VR.
I've never done it. That's the only reason I'm moving in here, so I can play your VR.
Really?
then you're just
That's
gonna
the
leave.
I'only reason.
30-day notice after the first day. Finally.
I can't wait to get you killed on Phasmophobia.
I'm excited. I've heard you guys talk about it at length.
It's terrible.
It's so much fun.
It scares the shit.
Especially if you in this basement, it'd be extra scary.
They're
Yeah,
adding
dude.
2 new ghost types soon as well.
Really?
Yeah. New ghost types.
Oh god.
Also, I can't remember if I brought this up, but since the last time you played, Tyler, the ghosts can now just rip open doors when you're hiding in lockers.
Yeah, don't like that.
Yeah, if they hear you talking, they'll just fucking rip the door open and kill you.
I love the
Perfect timing for me to get a goddamn VR system.
You're welcome.
Yay.
with a hot mic, so you can't just turn it off.
Yep. I love that they actually put in support for those tactile vests or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
like
the haptic vest.
There are going to be so few people who actually get to take advantage of that, but just to feel a ghost tap you on the shoulder or something.
That's dope.
I want that. I want to try that so fucking
I wonder
bad.
how expensive those things are.
Probably in
Looking at
the
four
hundreds
figures.
of dollars.
I was thinking like 1,000.
I was thinking 400 or 500.
Okay,
As much as a current gen console is my guess.
that's reasonable.
You can get one off Wish, but if you sweat at all, you will get electrocuted.
There's
The ghost just touched me.
looks like I found one just off of a quick search. The $499.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mine was spot on.
Yeah.
Did you buy that hat after the Suns won the first
No,
round of
actually,
playoffs?
this was a birthday gift from our good friend John.
I was gonna say, I'm also pretty sure Tyler's been a lifetime Suns fan. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's what I was checking because I have two.
No, I've been a fan since I was a kid. My favorite player when I was a child was Kevin Johnson. So
KJ.
yeah.
Number
Also,
7.
I do have to put in a plug here. Fuck the Lakers. I know this isn't a sports cast, but the Suns beat the Lakers, and the Lakers fucking suck. So
I don't hate
It was
sports, but I
epic.
don't watch basketball, so I have no frame of reference for
okay.
this.
The Lakers have been a thorn in our side our entire lifespan as a team, especially in the early 2000s when we had the best team ever.
Lakers are dicks, and I'm sorry. We have a friend from LA, and I love you, Damien. I do, but Lakers fans straight up suck sometimes. Not you, Damien. You're great.
They're cocksuckers who fucking just shill out all the money to buy the best players, and they deserve to lose, and they lost.
So I've been playing Cave Story, or not Cave Story, Golf Story.
Still,
Yeah.
Nice.
Because I just had left it,
those damn frisbee golf levels can't get past, huh?
Actually, those are the easiest things in the fucking
I
game.
hated those.
They're so goddamn easy. I blazed right through the frisbee golf stuff. I'm on the I can't remember the name of the course, the one that's on the beach.
Oh yeah,
And
that one's tough.
Yeah, it's just such a fun little game. I just did the lawn mowing race.
Oh yeah, they're supposed to have a sequel to that game called Sports Story.
Yeah,
But
which would be
I haven't heard
awesome.
anything beyond that they were making it.
Yeah, yeah, that's about as far as I've heard as well. But I'm just glad to be finally focused on Golf Story and giving it the attention that it deserves, because it really is just such a great little game that seemed to come out of nowhere. At first when it hit the fucking eShop, it felt like just any old indie shovelware.
Yeah.
And just grabbed it because there was not a lot to buy on the eShop when that came out. And it ended up being really good.
It's so charming.
Yeah.
And it has an appreciation for golf, but also if you don't like golf, you can still enjoy the game.
Yeah.
Which, again, I know I said it last week. Golfing, fucking hate it. Golf video games.
Mini golf, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You guys ever played
in
Hot
both video game and real life form?
Yes.
Is there a VR mini golf game?
Yes,
Where you
there
can go
is.
like
There
this?
is. There actually is.
Sweet Jesus, I'm buying it. Yes! Oh, I'm so excited.
There's a VR. I don't remember what it's called. It looks like it's fun. I've never played it because, VR is expensive, and I have only had a headset in my house because Ryan gave me one. And then they have some just regular mini golf games on Steam that are multiplayer that are fucking great too. That have workshop. You can just download random courses. So it's all stuff we should do because I think they're really fucking fun.
I want to do
Absolutely.
some.
I want to
team
get
games.
real drunk and play mini golf and have the ball collision turned on so I can slap you guys out of the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm so into this.
Yeah. I'm super down. We need to just do it at some point.
Tell me when, brother.
All right. Well,
But also,
not going to
Caitlin
be.
doesn't have a computer, I don't think.
I have a computer that could probably run a mini golf game.
We'll talk about your hardware later.
Yeah.
Do you have 2 VR sets, Brian?
This is the
No, I
casting
do
Just
couch.
one right now, damn it.
Why don't you take a seat over there for us?
We're going to talk about your hardware.
On that note, thank you everybody for watching and or listening. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah, let me tell you something, brother. You load the podcast with the rocket fuel, and you start the mega powers, and you hit that subscribe button. Ooh, I'm not gonna rip my shirt because it's the only one I have right now. Subscribe.